Hello everybody, Fox here. So apparently, when there's a large group of people who see things that aren't really there, and you point out to this group of people that the things that they see aren't really there, they get all butthurt about it. I know, it surprised the hell out of me. So there's a good chance this will be my last video on gang stalking. To be honest, I started to grow weary of it towards the end of editing my last video. There's so many times that you can look at something and say, that's not really there, before you lose interest. And it's likely that that video would have been my last, except I got this comment. Hey, won't you do one of my videos? You know when you put an apostrophe in front of an S, it means that your video owns something, right? Just because someone is being paranoid does not mean that she is not targeted. If you went through just half of what I do in one day, your little ass would be crying. Now sniff it up, little keyboard warrior, and get all huffy and puffy. What kind of man takes someone's videos, oh, you got videos correct that time, off of their YouTube channel and dismantles it? A nobody, someone who gets off of bashing other people. So please keep up the good work on showing how much of a douchebag you are. Well, Chuck, challenge accepted. So Charles is a very tech-savvy TI, and he likes to show us all the different types of technology that the perpetrators use against him and other TIs. So we're going to be looking at several of his videos about the different types of technology that they use. Of course, links to all the videos will be in the description, so you can check them out yourself.
Hello TIs, I'm sorry about the last video uploaded, but it seems that the perps were able to get to my audio and screw it up. Well, hopefully this video right here will be a little bit easier to understand.
So the perps screwed up your audio. Yeah, I hate it when the government comes in and screws up my settings too. So let's take a look at your previous video to see what the perps did to your audio. Personally, I'm betting that we're going to hear some satanic chanting in the background.
Hello TIs. Wanted to do about I actually showed how radars target us, but I left out a lot of people.
So your audio is pretty scratchy and it's cutting in and out a lot. And this is for sure the work of the government. No possibility at all that maybe you fucked up your audio settings, have a cord kinked, don't have the mic plugged in all the way. No, it's absolutely gotta be the government. So that gives us a taste of how much the government is working to fuck over Chuck's life. So now let's get into the real meat and potatoes of it. Now as a warning, this video is going to be full of jump cuts, and that is not Chuck's doing, that is my doing. Chuck just likes to let the video roll while he searches for things on the internet, searches through files on his computer, while he's thinking of the next thing to say. He just lets his camera roll, which means there is a shitload of dead air. And I just can't stand that. So I am chopping out all the dead air, and I'm speeding him up a little bit because he speaks slowly. I thought I spoke slowly, but he speaks fucking slowly. So Chuck, for the love of God, learn to use video editing software. You can get this shit for free.
Hello, targeted individuals. I basically am going to start doing an investigation on people that are doing an investigation on me. I'm just going to get a PI to do it.
In the name of all that is holy, please publish that PI's report once you get it.
This is how a Stingray works, okay? Here is a picture of a Stingray. Alright, this is Stingray2. Now they have 4 different outlets for cell phone towers, okay? Here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull it out for you to let you get a better look at what it is.
Chuck's image never gets any better than that, but don't worry, I've got a much clearer image to show you once he's finished explaining this to us.
Now see, this is for your, right here, that is your, for your monitor. This is your power. This is your USBs. You can hook up a mouse or anything of that nature to it. This is your Ethernet, which you will plug into an Ethernet cord. These are your 4 outlets right here for your that plug into the the cell phone towers. You have 4 cell phone towers that you can use. This is for your PC. You have auxiliaries. This is your GPS antenna. Here's another GPS antenna. Well, this is you could have up to, you have 2. That's what that's the reason why there's 2. You have one that's facing backwards and one that's facing frontwards. This is for the 2 outlets there. You have 2 antennas, and I'm not actually too sure what these right here are for, but I'm sure that they're used for something.
Really, they're used for something. And I thought they were there for decoration. Now, I happened to find a much clearer picture of one of these Stingray devices, which is in fact used by the police and counterintelligence agencies to track people's cell phones. This is something that hit the news probably about 1.5 years ago. If you were paying attention, it didn't make a very big splash. Now I'm going to go over this device the same way that Chuck did, but I have a little bit more information about it because I actually did research instead of just talking out my ass. These are the PC input, VGA, Ethernet, USB, and power ports. These are the auxiliary ports. Thank you for pointing out to us auxiliary ports that are so clearly marked as auxiliary. What kind of auxiliaries are they? I have no fucking clue, and neither do you. The top port is a GPS antenna. Now my unit does not have the bottom port that his does, but it is not a second GPS antenna, because if you knew anything about how GPS works, you would know that that's useless. But I bet you don't know how GPS works, do you? The bottom one is a 10 megahertz reference output. If you look closely at your device, it says so on it. Now, from what I understand from my limited research, which is a fuck ton more than apparently you did, a 10 megahertz reference is used for when you have multiple inputs from similar sources to help differentiate them and make sure that things are working correctly. Now, these 4 inputs that are marked TX antenna, TX stands for transmit. Those are for transmitting data. These 3 antenna ports that are marked RX are for receiving data. They are not for decoration, and yes, they do have a purpose. They are for receiving. The 4 on top are for transmission, the 3 on the side are for receiving. Now, these 2 antennas that you so lazily just glossed over as antenna ports are actually marked DF antenna, which is direction finding antennas. But if you knew that, I think you would have made a really big deal out of directional finding antennas, because they would point you in the direction of the signals that you're looking for. But you didn't know that, did you? Now this video goes on for another 20 minutes of Chuck telling us exactly how this equipment works. But since I have to explain to him the meaning of the inputs into the equipment itself, I have a feeling that he's just pulling all of this out of his ass. And he doesn't have the slightest clue how this stuff actually works. This is just how he thinks it works. So let's move on to another video.
Hello everybody. I want to do a video today on over-the-horizon radar and how they use it on us as a target individual. Basically what they do is they take, this is what produces over-the-horizon radar. Now this is located probably around probably 5 miles from my house. Well, not even that far, maybe 2 miles from my house. This is located. It pumps out 192 watts of radiated power at me.
I'm curious, Chuck, do you actually think about what it is that you say before you say it? This is a picture of my computer rig. It consists of a Lenovo ThinkPad laptop connected to a docking station. Attached to the docking station is my keyboard, my mouse, my USB-powered microphone, and 3 monitors. This is a watt meter that I picked up off of Amazon a few months ago, connected to the power supply for my computer rig. My computer, which is a laptop, mouse, keyboard, microphone, and 3 monitors, is currently consuming 230 watts. Let that sink in. By contrast, here's a partial list of the most powerful AM radio stations in the United States. Link in the description. These stations transmit at 50 kilowatts. That is 50,000 watts worth of power that they are pumping their signal out at. And it's a long list. So I'm curious what ailments that the government is causing you by purposely irradiating you from 2 miles away with what looks like some very large satellite dishes pumping out less power than is consumed by 200-watt light bulbs. And now for the pièce de résistance.
See, the piping in your house, you have a ventilation for your sewer duct. This radiation goes inside here. You know how they like to watch us take a dump. That's just something they like to do because they're pedophiles and fucked up in the head type people. But this is what this does. This radiation creates an EMF field. This EMF field goes inside of your sewer, and it causes reverse flow, because everybody knows that without having proper ventilation in your house for sewer, gravity goes downwards. So what happens is if this is blocked off, your plumbing is going to get clogged up quicker. That's also how you smell gas in your house as well, or around you. They can do that though too, through your EEG, through that frequency, through your smelling, through the senses of your smell. But most of it is done through the sewer gas. They pump sewer gas straight into your house, because this clogs off when you flush your commode. That sewer gas tries to escape, and it has nowhere to escape, so it just goes straight back into your house. So you breathe sewer gas.
I have no words. I'd like to take the last couple minutes of this video to describe my philosophy on YouTube. Back in the day, it was common for people who wanted to have an open platform to speak in the public square of the town. This is where the term getting on a soapbox came from. That someone who wanted to talk on politics or something else would literally stand on a soapbox or other small crate so that they could be a little bit taller than the crowd, and they could speak on whatever they wanted. This is how I view YouTube, as the modern public square, where anyone can put out their ideas for anybody else to hear. But those ideas are not above criticism. Just like someone who would be standing on a soapbox might get heckled from the crowd, you cannot expect to put your ideas out there without somebody challenging them. Now, many times if I'm going to challenge somebody's point of view, I'm going to do it in a way that I find entertaining. And since I'm an asshole, that's going to be by being an asshole. But as you can see, I do not close my comment sections. I do not turn off my ratings. Just as I am willing to challenge other people, I don't mind if somebody wants to challenge me, either in my comments section, or through ratings, or through response videos. That is their right, just as it is my right to talk about anybody else that I see on YouTube. Now, because my previous 2 gang stalking videos featured the same person, I was accused of being a cyberbully. And this leads into the last subject I'd like to cover in this video. I thought about bullying tactics for the last couple days. And as I see it, there are 2 types of bullies. There's the bully who beats you up and takes your lunch money. This bully wants you to cower in their presence. And really the only way to fight that type of bully is to actually fight them in combat, to show them that you will stand up to them. And that usually dissuades that type of bully. The other type of bully is the bully who teases you relentlessly. This is the bully that is looking for a reaction. They want you to be upset. Now let me just assume that gang stalking is real, and that I take all of your stories at face value. Then the gang stalkers, the organizations behind them, they are the second type of bully. They are looking for this reaction. The fact that you put things up on YouTube, the The fact that you are filming things, the fact that you are constantly on the lookout, shows them that they are getting to you. It is not showing them that you are fighting back. It is showing them that they are getting to you and that you are being affected. The only way to fight the teasing bully is to ignore them, because when they do not get the reaction that they want, the teasing stops because they don't get the satisfaction of watching you overreact. So my message to the TI community is to go on with your life as though nothing were happening, because if you do, then things will stop happening. But as long as you show them that you are going to react to what they do, they will keep doing it. And that's what the fox said.